let me ask you something. When you finally decided you had to change, what was it? What was the final straw? A blowout at home? A threat from your boss? Or was it something quieter? The slow, ugly accumulation of hangovers, broken promises, and regret, such that one day you said to yourself, I have to stop. And right after that, your brain did what every addicted brain does. It argued. Just cut back. Just be careful. Just control it this time. But the part of your brain that keeps score, the part that catalogs experience, whispered the truth. You've already tried that more than once, and you've lost every time. So you commit, and most people think the plan is simple. Don't drink. White-knuckle it, push through, endure. But I'm going to tell you something that sounds discouraging. Most people reaching this turning point fail because don't drink is not a strategy. It's enforced deprivation. And if that's all you've got, you're building your sobriety on a hole in the ground. I'm Dr. Donald Crow, and 28 years ago, I learned this the hard way. Back then, my life was falling apart, but from the outside, I still looked functional. I still had a job, still paid the bills, my kids still spoke to me, and I knew I had a problem. So I did what smart people do when they're scared. I tried to control it. I went on what I can only call a seemingly endless saga, searching for the magic technique that would let me escape alcohol's tyranny, but still drink on special occasions. And you already know how that ends, because special occasions don't stay special. They expand, they blur, they multiply, until a special occasion becomes waking up. Then consequences piled up, and in my case, it ended in a dramatic fall from grace. I lost the things I was clinging to that convinced me that I was okay, and with them, I lost something even more important. I lost every rational reason to believe I could drink without destroying myself. So I went to treatment. I got through withdrawal. I met people who had been sober for impossibly long stretches, and they inspired me. And when I walked out of that treatment center after 12 weeks sober, I was amazed. I thought I'd solved it. And here was my strategy, my daily plan. Every morning I told myself, just don't drink today, and you can have your old life back. Sounds reasonable, right? And here's what happened. I got my old life back. But soon, a few threads started to fray. Deadlines, stress, boredom. Suddenly, not drinking wasn't inspiring anymore. It was just exhausting. I'd sit alone at the end of the day in my easy chair, and I'd want that drink to take the edge off. And I couldn't have it. So what did I feel? Frustrated, angry, sad. And I wanted to do with those feelings what I'd always done with feelings. Erase them. And my brain had a vivid memory of the quick fix. The wine aisle, the bottle, the relief. After 18 months of the struggle, I drank. And I was faced with a classic fork in the road. Hide it and keep drinking, or start over. That decision got made for me because I was being watched more closely than I realized. I got found out immediately, and I felt like a complete failure because I truly believed I gave it everything I had. So why would trying again work? Here's the brutal truth. I didn't fail because I lacked willpower. I failed because my whole plan was built on inaction and loss. My effort was aimed at not doing something, and my reward for not doing it was that I would lose all that I thought that alcohol had given me. Relaxation, confidence, relief, social ease, sleep. So I was fighting every day and calling it recovery. That's not a pathway to freedom. That's a cage. What saved me was not genius. It was people. I had made a few sober friends. I told them what happened, expecting judgment. What I got was understanding and encouragement. And the first thing they told me changed my trajectory. You're not starting over. You're starting again. Meaning, those 18 months weren't erased. They were experience, data, proof of what didn't work. Then someone asked me a simple question, almost annoying. Why don't you try something different? And that hit me like a brick, because if my absolute best effort had failed, why would I repeat the same strategy? And that's when I finally saw the fatal flaw. I wasn't building anything new. I was just avoiding something. I was running away from alcohol, but I wasn't running toward a life that could work without booze. So the goal had to change, not get my old life back, because my old life was the one I had to drink my way through. The goal became learn to build a new life, one that doesn't need alcohol. And the strategy for this became action. Not willpower to not do something, action. Because cravings don't respond to speeches or good intentions. Cravings respond to interruption. So you might wonder, what does action mean? It means this. When the urge hits, you don't sit there and wrestle it in your head. You pivot. You do something, anything, that occupies your time and attention until the urge passes. And I learned something important. Urges are loud, but they're not permanent. They rise, they peak, they fall. Your job is not to win the argument in your head. Your job is to outlast the wave. So I built a menu, a short list of actions I could take immediately that aren't theoretical, not inspirational, not heroic. They're practical. And here's the menu. 5 actions that worked for me. Number 1, connect. Call someone who gets it. And let me make this easy for you. You don't need some deep, penetrating conversation. You don't need to spill your entire soul. Sometimes all you need is one human voice that reminds you, I'm not alone. Addiction thrives in isolation, and connection breaks the spell. Number 2, move. For me, that meant putting on my running shoes. Not thinking, not debating, shoes on and out the door. And I'll tell you something that's 100% true in my life. Not once have I ever drank in the middle of a run. And here's the miracle. After the run, I'm not thirsty anymore, at least not for alcohol. Your physiology shifts. Your brain chemistry shifts. Movement doesn't just distract you, it changes you. Number 3, eat. Prepare and consume a real meal. Because I noticed something that surprised me. In the moment of intense craving, my craving for alcohol and my craving for food were indistinguishable. The same urgency, same agitation, the same, I need something now. Sometimes your brain is screaming alcohol when your body is actually screaming fuel. Number 4, educate. Read something recovery related. Not buying the book, not intending to read it, but actually cracking it open. Reading is a high-focus task. It forces your mind out of that obsessive loop. It builds the sobriety muscle, and it turns panic into perspective. And number 5, do a simple chore with intention. The dishes, laundry, clean a drawer, take out the trash, and do it on purpose, not as a punishment, but as simply the next thing to do. Because addiction brings chaos inside and outside. A simple chore done with intention creates a small win, and small wins compound. My wife loved this one, by the way, but she might argue I didn't do this one often enough. Here's what happened when I started living this way. I accumulated days, and inside those days the fog lifted, and I started noticing things I had been numb to. Small joys, peace, moments of clarity. Little miracles that show up when you're actually present for your life. And then the biggest realization landed. All the benefits I thought alcohol gave me, they were there in real life all along. They just weren't available while I was chained to the bottle. I had assumed that sobriety meant losing something. Turns out I wasn't giving up anything real. And I was finally opening the door to an authentic life. Not a perfect life, a real one. So, if alcohol has become an issue in your life and you've reached that turning point, hear me. Don't devote yourself to giving up alcohol. Devote yourself to building a new life that doesn't require it. In that first day of not drinking, start small. Pick one action, then another. That's how skills are built, and that's how identity changes. That's how dependency becomes irrelevant. Because the most powerful question isn't, what do I need to stop doing? It's, what's the first action I'm taking today? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and drop a comment below. I read them all and I will respond. And check out this next video where I explain why alcohol isn't just a trap for problem drinkers. It's a lure for everybody. I'm Dr. Donald Crow, and I'll see you in the next one.